That you are here, and all of us are celebrating World Ocean Day. I've been provided a 2-page long speech, and I'm in no mood to read it for you. I just reiterate our commitment here that thanks to the World Bank, thanks to the other partners, whatever is being invested into the blue economy and whatever is being dreamt of a beautiful ocean, a thriving economy through the oceans, in a sustainable manner. The Federal Government of Pakistan, Ministry of Maritime Affairs, certainly, we will remain committed. We will certainly be more active, efficient, and we will be really available for the cause of this particular ministry, all the partners, as well as the poor people associated to the blue economy. What we are trying to do here is it is certainly a good seminar with presentations and all, and the technical sessions will follow. But what I would like to have in the next year, next World Ocean Day 2022, whosoever is the minister here, that let's focus more and more on the vulnerable people. We are presenting a federal budget in a very strangled kind of position. We have budgetary constraints, we have the foreign exchange issues, our economy is crumbling and all. But what we are trying to do, I believe Ministry of Maritime Affairs has some 17 public sector development program schemes. Most of them are for Gwadar and all. And why have we chosen Gwadar? Every other government has chosen Gwadar, but this time what have we done? We have promised 2000 हम गरीब मछेरों को वहाँ पर, we are going to provide them motors for their boats in order to make them their living effective. जो वो fish करते हैं in the prescribed area or whatever it is. Number one. Number two, what we are doing here, inshallah, we are going to give them a floating jetty with the cost of 270 million by the end of this year. So we are not only providing them, the fishermen, poor fishermen of Gwadar, motors for their boats, we are also providing them a floating jetty. We are also trying to connect with the right people here, be it जो large scale के ऊपर fishing करते हैं या जो छोटे मछेरे हैं, उनके साथ मिलके what are the hindrances? Because the figure was quoted somewhere, like Channa Saab said that, or someone else, that $450 million हमारी कोई worth है, और everyone says कि ये कोई billion or billion plus dollars हैं. We just need a few interventions and all. Right now, जब हमें इतने मसाइल हैं export के, the country has been investing in textile and all subsidies. I think this blue economy, the information technology, these are the areas जिन्हें हमें explore करने की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. मैं बिल्कुल आपको यकीन दिलाता हूँ कि कम से कम हम इस मौजू को ज़रूर लेकर चलेंगे और इसके ऊपर गुफ्तगू करेंगे. One thing before I end this speech, when I was Provincial Minister for Youth Affairs, we had a seminar some 12-15 years ago on International Youth Day like this. And we invited जो सड़कों के ऊपर बच्चे नशा करके गाड़ियाँ साफ़ करते हैं और transgenders community and all, वो भी जो भीख मांगते हैं, हो गया सेमिनार वगैरह. My very dear friend, the president of Habib University, Wasif Rizvi, used to be the Habib Education Foundation's head at that time. एंड वी वर हैविंग अ जॉइंट वेंचर. हम एक वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर उस ज़माने में चलाते थे, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ यूथ अफेयर्स एंड हबीब यूनिवर्सिटी. सो आई सेड टू हिम कि ये 4 घंटे का सेमिनार तो हो गया है, बट इनकी ज़िंदगियों के ऊपर असर क्या पड़ेगा. सो वी ट्राइड आवर बेट. वी tailor made a program for transgender community and those children जो सड़कों के ऊपर नशा करके भीख मांगते हैं, गाड़ियाँ साफ़ करने की सारी चीज़ें. 40 दिन का हमने प्रोग्राम मुरतब किया. काफ़ी लोग आए उसमें, और मेरे लिए यही इत्मीनान व्हेन आई लेफ्ट दैट मिनिस्ट्री था कि अगले इंटरनेशनल यूथ डे के ऊपर, जो कि 12 अगस्त को होता है, अगले इंटरनेशनल यूथ डे पर उनमें से कई ख्वाजा सरा और कई सड़कों पर भीख मांगने वाले, एज कोई टेलरिंग की शॉप चला रहा था, तो कोई प्लम्बिंग का काम कर रहा था, कोई इलेक्ट्रिशियन का, कोई मोबाइल फ़ोन्स को दुरुस्त करने की उसने हुनर सीख लिया था. एंड वी वर एबल टू गिव देम अ सर्टन एंड वेरी मच नीडेड स्टार्ट, जो उनको बदकिस्मती से कभी मिला ही नहीं. So same is my hope for this particular ministry. I know that fisheries mainly relate to the provincial ministry as well, but I am fortunate कि मैं चला गया Honorable CM Sindh के पास, और now we have a communication channel. We are discussing certain projects. There have been projects where KPT's approvals were required to Sindh government and there were no approvals. There were projects where Sindh government's approval was required for the ministry and the approvals were nowhere. Now we have decided that whatever is the need. Yesterday I spoke with the administrator. We will be talking to the whosoever is the mayor of Karachi. Like जो भी local partners हैं, जो political लोग हैं, जो governments हैं, उनके साथ मिलके, as Sidra very rightly said, कि although my daughters object to this thing, when I say that I'm a local boy, they said you are not a boy anymore. But I
for gracing the occasion, the Honourable Chairman of KPT, Port Qasim, PNSC, thank you, sir. The MD Kufa, Principal Officer, Mercantile Marine Department, the Country Director, World Bank, eminent and well-informed participants, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning. We are here in collaboration with the World Bank and the Ministry of Maritime Affairs on the theme of revitalizing collective action for the oceans. To talk in front of such a distinguished and well-informed participants is rather an exercise in futility. We all know where we are, what we are. So I will try to raise a level, rather prick the conscience of this august house on what we have done with our oceans and what we have done with our economy and what could have been done if we would have acted properly. While we speak and attend and celebrate World Ocean Day, let me remind you that we simultaneously pollute our ocean with 500 million gallons of sewage and untreated industrial water every day. While we live in our swanky villas and move in our SUVs, in our beautiful houses, across the colonies, satirize the coastal city of Karachi, the owners of the industrial states pollute this land, this city, and they contribute with raw industrial waste thrown out every day in the city of Karachi, affecting 25 to 30 million people's lives. This is a paradox which I honestly am unable to resolve, that how can people who are so conscious, who are so aware, yet they continue to dilapidate the environment that they live, their children live, and they look forward to live for next hundreds of years. Our marine capture fishery has experienced decrease in production and also in per unit value. Our seafood export is today restricted, sir, to around $450 million, while our friend China reaps around $8.6 billion to $19.2 billion. Thailand today earns about $71 billion, sir, from its coastal and marine tourism, where our contribution in our GDP on marine and eco-coastal tourism is zilch. Our total port revenues, sir, are about $70 million US. Singapore, perhaps 1/20th or even less the size of Pakistan, earns $3 billion from its port revenues, sir. Since I have remained associated, fortunately, with the marine and maritime affairs at different positions in associated organizations, in my reckoning, sir, the wake-up call, the time has already gone. We need to be doing some urgent, immediate actions to rectify, lest we will not be able to face our future generations with the head held high, sir.
Blue economy refers to the viable and prudent use of oceans and other water resources for the economic development of a country or region, and collectively to the various interconnected maritime economic sectors. It includes, amongst other things, transport and logistics, fisheries, aquaculture, offshore oil and gas, mineral exploration, coastal and marine tourism, renewable energy, biotechnology, water supply and water management. Ports and shipping are at the forefront of the engagement as tools for furtherance of and towards achievement of the intended gains to be had from growth in the global blue economy. The blue economy is a critical part of any maritime country's economy, facilitating trade and commerce and enabling the nation to utilize maritime resources to become a source of prosperity for its masses. Nations globally realize the importance of the world's oceans and the opportunities it represents for the blue economy. Covering 70% of the Earth's surface, the oceans regulate global climate patterns, provide livelihood, and enable commerce, without which life as we know it would not be possible. Oceans produce half of the world's oxygen and stores 50% more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. Oceans provide us with resources ultimately used in food consumption, as well as medicinal ingredients used to manufacture pharmaceuticals. The list of benefits humans derive from oceans would be as expansive as the oceans themselves. Oceans are an indispensable part of global economic system. The blue economy is responsible for 2.5 trillion of goods and services derived from marine resources. 90% of international commerce transported by sea. On its own, oceans-related economy accounts as the 7th largest economy in the world, with estimated assets worth over $24 trillion. The daily diet of 3 million people, representing 40%.
Bring it into the policy sector. I hope everyone knows about it. And this is what I said, we need superheroes in the maritime. And that is Aquaman. I'll tell you the story then, that why I placed him as the start of my presentation. But ladies and gentlemen, in gross meat product, there are two questions that before we get.
I'm born here, my kids are born and bred here, and I want to own this city through this ocean, through its economy, through its people, and we will do whatever is in our limit, in our jurisdiction, in our capacity. You will see no blame game from my side for the predecessor, the Honorable former Minister, or the federal government. which was here earlier, you'll only see work, you'll only see some communication, connectivity with all the partners here. So thank you very much.
I am a world advocate of sustainable blue economy. Every breath you take, every drop you sip, and most probably the communications infrastructure delivering my voice and picture to you today have to do with the ocean. We are gathered here today because of these masses of water, the very element and the origin of life, and which distinguishes our planet from others in the solar system. Yes, we have water in abundance. In fact, 72% of our planet's surface is covered with it, providing a vast array of biodiversity and ecosystem services, regulating our climate, and producing half the oxygen we breathe. Despite the fundamental importance of sustaining life, the full potential of the ocean is yet to be unleashed. The blue economy is the approach that will help attain this objective. But what exactly do we mean by the blue economy? A concept that is very often misunderstood. To me, simply put, it is developing strategies for the sustainable use of the sea that will benefit humankind. The key word here is sustainability, an aspect that has been widely disregarded in the past. The blue economy has brought about greater awareness of ocean capacity, knowledge, and the role it plays in the climate change. Politicians have been made to realize the impacts of climate change with a sense of urgency.
It's a great pleasure and honor to be speaking with you today on the occasion of World Ocean States Liberation for this 2022. I apologize for not being able to be with you in person. It's an important occasion that was happy to at least have the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you and the commitments of the work and continue to work with the authorities on special aligned work to get the data, the evidence to act on the ecosystem, the ocean ecosystem. So I don't need to tell you how important this topic. Ocean is the largest continuously connected system known to mankind, 70% of the Earth is oceans. And it's absolutely vital to combating climate change and maintaining the livelihood of people around the world that rely on the oceans for food, commerce, and sanctuaries. And speaking of climate change, this is not anymore a future concern for Pakistan. It is a reality. It is here. It is hurting many communities around the country. In recent weeks, it's not anymore about only about mitigation, but for the case of Pakistan, it's about adaptation and protection of our oceans is crucial from that perspective. And by supporting the rich marine ecosystems on the coast of Pakistan, we ensure safety for extreme weather and security that we need. Not just, in fact, for us here in Pakistan, but more broadly for possibly billions of people around the world. So, as you know, I was impressed with this English on the shaping, and many of you know this, 83% of the global carbon cycle is circulating through the oceans. So, coastal habitats cover less than 2% of the total ocean area, account for approximately half of the total carbon sequestered in ocean sediment. Here in Pakistan, surrounding ocean and waterways have untapped potential to contribute to the nation's socio-economic growth and environmental sustainability. And the potential of Pakistan's blue economy is huge. It is an untapped catalyst for a green, resilient, and inclusive development of the country. Pakistan has over 10% of its population living in the vicinity of a coastal zone, and over 20% of the coastal area of Pakistan is relatively developed, and 40% of industry is situated near or on the coast, which bears the importance to support its ecosystem development. And the potential of Pakistan to tap this blue economy is in a sustainable manner to bolster the vast blue economy sectors that have significant space for development, working hand in hand with our ocean and our coastal communities. We could boost and export value, all while creating inclusive and sustainable and green jobs and building resilience towards climate change. The government of Pakistan has emphasized the need for comprehensive blue growth strategy, prioritizing the principle of sustainability. And currently there is no business strategy on this, so we are very happy to be able to advise the government and support the government to develop such approach, such strategy. And at the request of the government, one land is proud to provide advisory services and technical assistance and technical support in the area of the economy. This work should strengthen the analytical base and the data to have targeted interventions by government agencies, both at the federal and provincial levels, to analyze the challenges and identify future engagement in support of the use of its natural capital to generate growth in jobs and a resilient manner. Last year, the government, with advisory support from the World Bank, undertook the first of its kind blue carbon certification in Pakistan. And this study highlighted that Pakistan mangrove forests have the potential to store approximately 20 million tons of organic carbon and remove an additional 25 million tons of carbon dioxide emission by 2050. These are huge figures. If coastal provinces take action to restore 350,000 hectares of mangrove forests. This is a goal that Pakistan committed to under the Red Coast Agreement and also the Paris Agreement, which was unveiled for 26 in Glasgow recently in November. And on the occasion of World Ocean Day 2022, it's a big opportunity for all of us to come together on one platform to celebrate the oceans of the world. Fitting the theme for this day in Stanley 2022 is reconciliation, collective action for oceans. And our discussion and celebration today is a testimony of collective action in Pakistan. It is a call for the country, for all sea-facing countries, to take collective action for the sustainable usage and development of natural blue capital, for growth, for permanent growth, and for improved livelihood and jobs and climate resilience. I was very happy to honor being the opportunity to speak today. You can go on and come to the World Bank and keenly offer support, especially analytical support, to understand the challenges and most importantly, to develop strategies and action plans to address them and tap this enormous potential for the economy and the people of Pakistan. Thank you very much, and over to you, and thank you for inviting me to bring that and support. Thank you.
And move forward. Especially when it comes to the blue economy, our whole outlook needs to change. And one great example is of course Seychelles. Speaking about how they've been able to turn it around, the blue economy allows the countries like Seychelles to put oceans at the center of their finances. They no longer Thank you, Dr. Anil. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the PNSC, Mr. Khurram Mirza. His comprehensive presentation about the ports in Pakistan and how they will play an important role in the upcoming blue economy. Ladies and gentlemen, leading the study group and the overarching initiatives of Pro Blue at the World Bank, please welcome Ms. Rahat Jabin. Congratulations on a stellar event and, of course, the technical session that is to follow lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present the next shield to Mr. Michelle James, the executive.
And it is signed, people can hear me. Apologies for the technical issue. I am connecting from Iceland, so a very country, but also equally dependent on oceans as Pakistan. Thank you very much. My name is Trump. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I am with Global League for the Blue Economy at the World Bank, and originally I am a fisheries specialist. And I would like to thank the organizers for this opportunity to present today about the importance of oceans in general, for the economy, and in that context, the tremendously important role of fisheries. So I believe someone is going to launch the presentation for me and narrate as we go. So I can please send the presentation. I know the sound is clear, so I'm just going to wait a little bit. I guess this shows the dedication of our program. There we go. Thank you very much. So thank you. The introduction really mentioned Pro Blue is a multi-donor trust fund that was launched by the World Bank with a number of important partners. And we are now up and running. We've been up and running for about 3 years. Some $200 million have been devoted to Pro Blue, and I'm very happy to report some of that support has gone to Pakistan in a very productive collaboration. Next time, please. So, just by way of background, I think I've heard this before, we have said that's a recap of the numbers that show us the importance of oceans. One is an livelihood and fisheries is our biggest hobby FAO. We know that smaller developing states, in particular, are particularly reliant on fish protein. OECD produced an excellent study that estimated that, conservatively, that the size of the ocean economies, some of all the ocean sectors in the world, is going to double to about $3 trillion annually by 2030. My predecessor just mentioned the importance of shipping, with 80% of all goods shipped by sea. And this is a number that we had before the pandemic, but this ocean storage is expected to double between 2010 and 2030. And now that the recovery has begun, recovery from COVID, we can see that some of these numbers are picking up, and the numbers that are picking up the fastest are related to
Your economic needs are also fulfilled when the environment.
At the impact the oceans and the maritime can have on us. If the oceans were a country, it would be the 7th largest economy of the world, supporting and doing all the things that it does. And if we are to even take a look at it from the lens of the climate change, 30% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions are absorbed by the oceans. So we cannot imagine a life without a healthy ocean. We are very honored to have amongst us the Honorable Minister, of course. We also have in the room with us Mr. Sayyidain Raza Zaidi, who's the chairman of Karachi Port Trust. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have with us the Rear Admiral Syed Hassan Nasir Shah Sahab, chairman of Port Qasim Authority, Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Sahab, the chairman of Pakistan National Shipping Corporation, the Honorable Additional Secretary at the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, Asad Rafi Sahab, and also the World Bank here is represented by their very robust study group, and someone who's leading these studies with the Pro Blue initiative in Pakistan, Ms. Rahat Jabin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our honorable stakeholders. The COVID has done many things to us. I remember this is my second year in a row that we are gathered here for the World Ocean Day. Last year, the theme was all about how the COVID has impacted our logistics and how do we respond to it, how we as humanity, as a global community, should be looking at our seafarers and the communities that rely on fisheries and the aquaculture. Today, we are looking at a slightly different scenario. Because of the COVID and because of technology, we are now moving away from the industrial economy to something that we call the connected economy. And of that, the oceans are a key matter. We must see how we are playing a role in this emerging global economy. Ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the focus that Pakistan has as a maritime nation, and of course to set the stage for today's World Ocean Day, may I now take this opportunity for inviting the Additional Secretary at the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, Mr. Asad Rafi Channa. Ladies and gentlemen, the team from the World Bank working tirelessly as the study group and as the main